Yeah. Hello, everyone! Welcome to tonight's episode of Oodvin. My name is Maxwell Williams. I am your host, your DM, your storyteller, all of the above, all of those good things. And I play a whole bunch of cool, interesting, and quirky characters, including one lovely individual who hasn't spoken much, but does seem to share an infatuation with a redheaded member of our party, and does happen to be the sister of one of our main characters, Iris.
Hi everybody, my name's Sam Rinaldi and I play Winnie Winslow, the Twilight Cleric. That's pretty much it. I don't really have anything today.
Sick. Hi, my name is Connor McGinley, who plays Lily Pembroke, aforementioned sister of Iris. Yes, they are both named after flowers, and yes, that was deliberate. The Lunar Sorcerer, and Lily is about to find out that she can't just do everything she wants to do because there will be consequences to tampering with people's lives.
Hello everybody, I am Dame Brancato and I play Zephyr Windstrider, the Air Genasi College of Swords bard of the group. A little fun fact about Zephyr this week is he has a little scar above his, I believe it's left eye. And he got that scar when he was, let's say, 8 years old. He was going through his sister's things and found her, like one of her pocket knives, and in an attempt to trying to be a cool adventurer like his big sister, messed up and got a little cut.
Hi, my name is Julie Risto, and I play our swashbuckling warlock half-orc by the name of Octavia Lagizur. She is the designated getaway driver, and I was trying to think of some sort of something, so I'm just gonna steal Dane's. So Octavia has a handful of scars, one of which she gained during the run of this game, but the other two are over her left eye. And that's because when she was a kid, when she first met Alessander, her partner in crime, he dropped some gold bars on her face, and then she chucked one at him and gave him a scar on his lip. And that's how they met and became best friends.
That's how he got the lip scar?
Mm-hmm. He dropped a gold bar on her head and she picked it up and chucked it back.
Hello, my name is Aaron Borden. I play Februm Cask, the Simic hybrid blood fighter. I don't really have anything of note.
He's missing a tentacle.
Oh,
He got a scar. He gave it to himself.
Self-inflicted. Content
and
ratings?
And I'm Drew Borden. I play Aldrich Bernask, the armor artificer. His head is all clear now. Probably, maybe.
We can only hope.
We can only.
Anyway, that's all of us. So let's do a quick little recap before we get into tonight's episode. So our party is on their big old journey through the waste, heading out of the town that they have all grown up in the only place that they have ever known, to save the world, essentially. They have been traveling for a couple of days so far, have made a little bit of a pit stop in a city that seemed to be overrun with undead individuals, encountering a gorgon of sorts, protecting a cavern full of petrified bodies. After defeating her, because her mind had fallen to the devouring, the party has acquired a few things. A new trident for Zephyr, a book of some notes, I think either Al or Lily has at the moment, as well as a statue of an individual from the old world. They quickly teleported out of the subway station back to their campsite and traveled down the road a little bit to discover that their car had been jacked. It was missing. It was nowhere to be seen. So the girls of the group decided that this was their job, and they took to the air atop Lily's spectral, semi-solid dragon that may look very similar to Aophic, to investigate. Finding the Tide Strider on its way back from the city with a cargo full of skeletons, and one cloaked figure driving the car itself. The girls were a little bit skeptical at first, but after, a friendly wave and a deathly aura, they decided to engage with the now individual we know is Faulkner, a individual that may resemble a skeleton, but hasn't quite made it there himself, but does love a good bone. And may have asked the party a couple times if he could have their bone, or bones. To which Octavia had responded, "Not now, but if I die, feel free." Faulkner, being a lovely sporting individual, returned the vehicle to our party, creating a chariot out of the skeletons that he had taken from the city, and thus returned to the city to grab more bones for his collection. As the party sped away, Lily noticed some looming figure in the distance, but wasn't able to spot it again to confirm her suspicions. The party regrouped, rested, unpetrified a couple individuals, and then headed on their way. Heading north to the closer north location detected by the divine compass that Al has modified. The Tide Strider revs its engine. It leaves dust behind it. You travel for the rest of the day, making camp. And if no one has anything else specifically, feel free to take a long rest. And with your long rest, officially become level 15.
Woo! Yeah, let's go!
So yeah. You wake up the next morning, well rested. The sky is not much different than it was. You see the ever-present looming glow of Lunaris, kind of slowly making her dayward arc through the sky as you prepare yourselves for a couple more days of travel, heading in a northward direction. Is there anything that anyone's doing in preparation? There is a moment where some individuals look to a stone figure that has just been kind of like propped in the back of the Tide Strider. Just kind of like leaning over to the side. It's been kind of like strapped to the trunk.
So, we gonna do anything about him?
Yeah, are you ready? I'm ready. I just wanted to give us a little time to recover. And now we've had a whole night, and I feel like a new person, so...
Are we sure we really want to wake him up? Like, what are we going to do with him?
Talk to him?
Yes, and then after we're done talking, what are we going to do with a person?
Just send him on his way, or maybe take him with us.
In the
Send him
waste?
Where?
We'll see what he wants to do.
Well, we should ask, is it better to consign him to a life of being a statue, or better to bring him with us, or let him free out in the waste to fend for himself?
As someone who got petrified, it's not really living. So, if it were me, I'd want to be turned back.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think setting him free in the waste is an idea because he's going to die.
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, we're not. We haven't. Zephyr
Yes,
could be
but
strong.
what if he's
We
not
have
like us?
Protection.
From the devouring specifically.
No, I agree. We shouldn't send him off.
At least
Maybe
there's
he's
that.
strong. I mean, like,
Maybe
for all
he's
we
strong.
know, maybe his
You know
outfit's
what,
like
Zephyr?
warrior
You're right.
garbs.
Zephyr's got this. Zephyr's got his head screwed on just the right way today.
I'm starting to think you're not being sarcastic, right?
Of course I'm not. You happen to be supporting my argument, so I'm very enthusiastic about it.
Octavia's like, she's got her like arm on the wheel, and she's like, "Oh yes, by all means, wake him up. Let's see how this pans out."
All right then. Thank you, Axel. Would you like to do the honors?
Everyone's okay with this?
Yep.
Not
I'll just be over here
but
with Octavia watching.
Yeah, Octavia's like, this
Actually-
Octavia, Al, and Februm are all like grouped together.
In the front of the car.
while they're doing this, I actually want to work on something with you, Octavia.
Oh yes, of course.
Oh
Are
no.
we still driving?
No,
No.
we are
No,
Packing-
we are.
Okay.
packing up the car for the adventure ahead.
For the
kinda
day.
deal.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Axel will walk over to the statue. He kind of like nervously looks back at everyone. Okay. Touches the statue. Will cast Greater Restoration. And you watch the stone wrinkle back into flesh. The pieces of clothing that seem to have been frozen in time kind of flutter down, and in an instant, this individual is returned to flesh and blood. And the first thing they do is they go, "Ah! Oh my god, my shoulder! What? It hurts! What the?
I got you, buddy.
Oh, I forgot.
As there's, like,
lay on hands. Of
They're like points,
That's
like
not the
sticking
problem.
out of their shoulder. It looks like stones have been embedded underneath their skin.
Winnie, could you just do a little...
What's going on? Wait.
You're gonna be just fine, sir. We're taking care of things. Winnie, quickly, can you do the thing? Just a
He
little...
might be losing blood.
Just,
You're-
just heal him or what?
Nope, just a little... It's a first level spell that I think you have prepared by default. Can you cast sleep on him?
Oh! Yes.
Oh, I got
I
that.
can.
I was like, the circle was like turning, you know? I was like,
Buffering.
what the fuck is this?
Buffering.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah, I got it. Have I casted sleep before?
Not in a while.
Hit us with it.
Does anyone remember how I casted it?
No, you come up with
You're a
something new.
different person now.
Your magic is new now. How do you cast sleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
You punch him.
I was saying I'm gonna make it look like I'm gonna punch him, and it just like kind of stops like in front of his face, and then it's like,
Guys, I love new Winnie.
He's like, oh my god, oh my.
Oh,
Winnie,
That
did
was
you-
too good.
Did you hit him?
no.
From where I was standing, it looked like you kind of.
You got a
Let's
minute.
see me do it again.
He's like,
Okay,
Oh.
can I make a medicine check? See
absolutely.
what's happening. Is this an easy or medium medicine check? Or is this gonna be hard?
I'll help because I took the class.
I think this is gonna be well. If you both took the class, I feel like you can both expend your charges to do like a
Okay.
hard medicine check.
Let's do
you know?
I'm down.
So it looks like mixed with some like medical knowledge. medical knowledge and magical knowledge. It looks like some of the stone has returned to like a flesh form, like kind of interpreting what his body would have looked like. But there are definitely some like other bits that have not, and they're like trapped right underneath like his flesh. So he literally has like rocks underneath his skin.
Now, I don't know if I'm making... Was Februm at any point able to walk through solid objects? No?
Sorry? I was when I
you
was
were
a
a-
blood hunter.
Can't do that now.
I can't do that now. That was astral plane too. So
I really wanted you to do the Neo thing, where you just reach in and pick the bullet out of his body. Okay.
I just turned my all-purpose tool into surgery implements.
That's fair.
And just.
I guess that's gonna have to work.
Not to work.
That's what we've got, boy.
Okay, now Al, make me a medicine check.
I'm gonna give
Oh.
Al Bardic real quick.
Oh, I
before he
can
does
help.
that.
I'm here.
Oh yeah.
Make it with advantage. You have a surgical assistant, Scalpel.
Awesome. Oh, okay, that's really good. That's really good.
Oh, I forgot I have guidance, so I'll hit you with guidance too.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Yeah,
guidance or advantage for helping. Either or. Well, I
Let's
guess
do
you could do
advantage.
guidance beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you Bardic. So,
What's the bardic?
D10.
Whoa, that's beefy.
Alright,
Very
Bardic.
inspiring, Zephyr.
And then do I have a guidance or no?
Have a guidance. Take a guidance.
I mean, if I don't
Okay.
do it, Winnie can do it. I just
Why
figured it made
not?
more sense for me to
All
do
right.
it.
You've been training a
That's a
whole
nice
semester
number.
for this. You got it.
That's
30?
a nice flat 30.
There we go.
Yeah.
You said nice number. I'm like, I know what that means. You watch Al takes a deep breath, and then like a trained like ER surgeon just slice, grab, so, and then like, in just that minute, you watch him remove about like 6 to 8 about quarter-sized rocks from this man's shoulder.
Jeez.
And like
This one.
quickly stitch them up with the help of his all-purpose tool. It kind of like turns into like a mini surgical sewing machine. I don't know if that's a thing, but you know, it just
It
like
is now.
no, you know what? It turns into a staple gun. So it's like
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess they don't usually do that with living bodies.
well, no, they have surgical staples.
Yeah,
was a
they don't
fossil.
usually do that.
So you like get it all together, just as this
Broke my
man
ribs.
is waking back up, and he goes, he like quickly sits back up, and he's like, oh,
How you feeling, sir?
fairly confused.
Yeah, we
Just
get those a lot.
confused?
I'm a bit sore. Did you have anything for the pain?
I got you.
Morphine,
I got
perhaps?
you. Morphine? No. I have magic.
Ah, pedestrian.
Pedestrian?
I can.
Winnie, you should
You
hit him
want to be a
again.
pedestrian? I can send you walking anywhere.
So abrasive. Ugh.
Not as abrasive as those rocks, sir.
Would any of the rest of you like to talk? This one is. Ugh.
Hey.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? And I like
Oh no.
pat him on the shoulder, and I'm gonna give him 5.
Are you
Lay on
patting him on
hands.
the shoulder that was just sewn shut?
Yeah, but with like lay on hands to try and make it.
Oh,
he
okay.
like flinches at first, and the healing energy goes in. He's like, oh, a man of principles, I see.
What can I say? You know.
That's
Hey, my
kind of
name's-
magic too. Is that not pedestrian?
Oh, no, simple.
Well, I did it with
Simple.
flair, so.
Ugh,
Oh,
the personality required. Yes, of course. Who the fuck are you?
We
Nice map.
see.
And where the fuck am I?
We are in the waste, the remnants of the world that you may have known.
I am sorry,
You
what?
probably remember waiting for a train or something.
Yes, quite the miraculous contraption.
Yeah.
Was heading into the city. There had been an evacuation issued, I believe. Something along those lines. I'm very...
So
How did we make it to a desert?
We have good news and we have bad news. Which do you want
It's
to hear
almost
first?
all bad.
Well, the good news is that there's no evacuation order anymore.
Ah, lovely. It
Bad
seems
news
everything's
is that
been...
we're in the remnants
Already
of why
evacuated.
they wanted you to evacuate. The world has kind of been not good for like 2,000 years now. And you were stone. I know it's a lot to take in, but you know, I'm just kind of giving it to you straight because you should rip off the band-aid, you know? You seem like you could take it. Oh, by the way, what's your name? You are?
Anyway, how's it going?
Anyway, what's your name?
This man is just like...
He's just like-
Would you give me a moment, please?
Yeah, of course.
Lovely, thank you so much. He we wanders over, just looks at the party. Oh, thank you. Goes behind a rock.
Februm waves back with a tentacle.
I wouldn't go too far.
It just screams bloody murder behind this rock. There is a gentle pause where there's no sound. And then you see him walk back out from the rock, dust off his clothes. He's like, where were
We
we?
handled that pretty well.
Oh, my name, I am Brad Jenkins, at your service.
Brad,
That's the worst.
Wow.
No, I
Brad.
shake his hand.
Worst.
That is the worst name.
I shake his hand. I'm Zephyr. Nice to meet you.
The pleasure's all
Lil.
mine.
By the way,
Always.
Yeah, and then
Lily, beautiful,
the guy.
fantastic.
I'm Aldrich.
Mm-hmm.
You can call him Al. That's easier.
Yes, you can call me out.
Lovely.
Februm.
Mm-hmm.
Octavia, love.
Interesting accent. Lovely, lovely.
Hey, where'd you get that?
I wonder which idiot gave you that.
And Winifred, but you can call me Winnie.
Oh, Winnie, it is an absolute pleasure. And he'll walk up to you and he puts his hand out, does kind of a gentle curtsy. A woman of your virtue and talent must be hard to find nowadays.
So, anyway, what's what?
Me?
How
I didn't do anything yet.
Oh, your aura
Are you-
speaks wonders.
are you a pious fellow, Mr. Jenkins?
Surely you
Oh.
missed her punching you a second ago.
I dabble.
You dabble in religion?
Oh, of course. I mean, I have met several of the gods personally.
Which ones?
so update? No, you
Great that
haven't.
they're still alive.
Time to list all the bad
Fun little
ones.
fact.
We'll have wait.
So I got good news and I got bad news.
Most of it's bad. Which one do you want to hear?
Yeah, it's almost entirely bad.
The good
Oh,
news
you
is
know,
there are
I-
gods still around. The bad news is everyone you met is probably dead.
Oh, you know,
Not
I
true,
saw
they could be rocks.
Crookton at a
rocks.
conference once, and then Jodarin made an appearance at an event, and I got to say hi.
That's a-
No.
They like
Judarin?
Who?
Jodarin, one of the archfiends.
I was gonna.
Oh,
Always
yeah.
like, ooh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I don't
rough.
have him. Yeah,
Okay, so maybe they are.
I don't have his card.
So far we've got
And then-
dead and dying.
Oh, and then Terrell. They're lovely to have drinks
Dead.
with. Beautiful.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
I do have that one.
So you like?
No,
the
I do
high
have to say
ranking?
the second is quite dull. That trio. Ugh.
Mm.
I'm
Oh.
writing that down.
How about yourselves?
Haha. Yeah, you could say we've met some.
Sure, we might have met
Yeah,
the
we
Celestials,
kind of.
yeah.
Yeah, we know a couple of
I
them.
will say this whole conversation is just directed towards Winnie.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Lily comes up
Boy, do we
behind.
have something to say about them.
Lily comes behind him and says, "You know, Winnie here is related to one of the gods."
I wasn't aware that a new revelation in the new era. Lovely.
I'm sure you could
and
sense
even,
that from her aura.
An even greater pleasure to meet you. He like full bows down. Would you wish me to grovel at your feet?
No,
You know,
thank
you should like be showing some respect to a relative of the gods.
a
maybe kind of
demigod,
maybe
if
kind
you
of rein
will.
it in a little bit.
He
No,
like
no.
glances.
He is showing Winifred the respect she deserves, being of her stature.
Whatever. Februm, was this something you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, just
I'll
come to the
keep
front of
an
the
eye
car.
on them.
Yeah, of course, of course. Thank you, Al. And she'll pat his shoulder as she walks by.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Your Greatness, why did you bring me back at such a time? Did you require my services? I'm sure my connections are not quite what they used to be, but I assure you I can be of great service to you.
Forgive her stuttering, sir, but she's used to having me as her speaker. I am, after all, Miss Winifred's advisor for
Oh.
the Midnight Stars LLC, of course.
I'm so sorry. Forgive me, Your Grace.
Oh, see?
Allow me, if you'll allow me, I'd love to communicate her intent for her.
Oh, yeah, and allow me to apologize for my previous infractions. I was ignorant and unaware.
All is forgiven, Mr. Jenkins. Now, if you'll excuse me, and she walks from behind him to stand next to Winnie.
Fucking Brad Jenkins.
Now, Miss
Anymore.
Winifred, did you happen to have an answer to his inquiry about why he's been brought back at such a time? And she kind of leans down right in front of her mouth so that you don't have to say it aloud.
Okay.
So you can say whatever you want, and Lily will say something maybe approximating it.
Okay. Cool. She was,
Yeah, no, you're doing pretty good. You can just take over. So I don't
Miss
know what-
Winifred, Miss Winifred would like to inform you that this is the beginning of a new era, and only people that she has deemed important enough have been selected to be a party to the new era's beginning. The Judgment Day will come soon, by her approximation, and so she's traveling the wastelands with us in order to determine who ought to be protected in these times. And you happen to be one of the people that we are considering.
Oh, I am honored, Your Grace, to be considered to be added to one of the few. What would you desire of me to further prove my pure intentions for your design?
Lily leans to Winnie again.
Okay, hear you, Sam.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
She's like, I don't know. This is
Even if you don't say anything, she stays in front of you for 30 seconds probably to make it seem like there was
impression.
enough time to give an actual response. So, we were curious. Miss Winifred would like to know if there's anything about the old world that you thought was important, or any role that you held in particular. This was a time quite long ago, so we have not been physically a party to it.
Yes, I did hold quite the impactful position as a social figure. I was what they used to call an influencer at the time.
Let's go.
I
no.
crafted pieces of literature, artwork, other fantastic
7-second
designs
Prank videos.
that enlightened,
vlogging.
encouraged, and loosened the daily struggles of the common individual. It was a noble task at the time.
Are we able to tell that even though we have no idea what an influence is, that he's definitely bullshitting?
You can make an insight check.
Like it's what he's okay.
I hate this
Okay.
timeline.
I hate this time.
It's a
Hey,
dirty
I hate
20.
our timeline.
A dirty 20.
Zephyr doesn't like him anymore.
That's unfortunate. I think she's just too weirded out by what's going on that she can't tell. I rolled like a 7. So.
Winnie, you don't know what an influencer is, but like, if they influence people, like, it could be like a leader of like a specific group. It's
Cool.
just not a term you're necessarily familiar with. And Zephyr, for like, you have your own suspicions and your own disdain for this individual already. But as far as you can tell, at least they believe what they're saying. And they could just be full of themselves. You don't know the implications that this has on like a greater political scale of the old world. But they fully believe every word that comes out of their mouth.
I'm really alarmed about what manner of influencing he was doing.
Yeah.
Videos of
And only fans.
dance and
Plenty of people.
He
I
used
was-
musically.
quite practiced
Oh my
at the
goodness.
time.
Winnie, if I may ask a question.
Which I feel like I should also describe this individual.
Yeah,
So,
please.
Picture like your normal like Chad from the frat house that is like 5 years older, has graduated with their business degree,
No.
like has made it salary at the company, is making like decent money, dresses well, but like still doesn't have a necessarily like sense of style. Like they're wearing expensive clothes that probably shouldn't be paired together. It's the loafers without socks with like the 5-inch inseam shorts. There's just like too much leg there.
Wearing shorts? What the fuck?
Yep.
He's wearing doors.
Oh no!
Khakis,
It's
of
Dylan
course.
Sprouse.
Oh no!
Brown belt, a very nice like button-up shirt that has been tucked into the shorts, but is like down to the third button. This man is ripped. Like, whether or not like he's physically strong is another thing, but this man like has paid attention to his physique, and you can see like the top 2 of the 12-pack like popping out of the super deep V that has been established by his button-up shirt.
Damn.
Like the sleeves are like rolled up very nicely and pressed. and his hair is
I
like
don't-
short and cut well.
I don't
Horse's
like that
name
it's
is
still a
fucking
long sleeve
Brad.
shirt.
His
It is
belt
still a long
matches
sleeve
his
shirt.
shoes, right?
I don't
His
want
belt
that.
matches his shoes.
Okay, at least we have that going.
No,
That's fine.
He is in loafers, khaki shorts, a long sleeve button up shirt with a belt that matches the shoes, and he's got a medium thickness gold chain around his neck
Oh.
with like a high and tight haircut.
Oh,
And you've got like
okay.
a little bit of like if you look at the edge from the right angle, you can see a golfer's tan line from where he wears his sunglasses.
Nice.
Cool.
Yep.
That is Brad
Um,
Jenkins.
If I may ask a
Sounds
question.
like it.
You said you were you crafted literature and artwork that enlightened and encouraged. So you were a type of bard, correct?
Of sorts, correct, yes.
Compare us.
Do you have
I
a
do.
writing sample, sir?
Not he like reaches. He's
You have a reference?
It would see my
Oh, it's in
mo.
my other bag.
It would see my He like reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a cellular device. Like think like an iPhone
iPod.
of some kind. It looks more updated than your iPod. Because we know that the older things lasted longer. Like like Zephyr probably has definitely stumbled upon devices like this, but they could never get them to work. You had to go back a couple generations to find one that still functioned. But it's got like, it looks like just a black box, very thin. He's like, everything was saved on this portable mobile device. Which has unfortunately run out of power. You know, I couldn't afford the cold fusion cell battery at the time. You know, I did my best, but they had just come out.
If I may, I could try to charge it for you.
I can try to cold fuse your battery if you want.
I can cold fuse you.
If you
I'll
would,
just
that
shove
would
them
be
together with brute force.
fantastic. Are you familiar
we'll
with pieces of technology from the old world?
You've
We'll see.
adjusted to that real quick.
Yeah, calling
Yes.
his world
No,
the old world.
I get it. I know what I know. I'm in this guy's mind right now. I see it. I can
kinda-
see everything from here. I don't
You
think
see
he
every
gives,
equation.
I don't think he gives a damn about clerics. I think he thinks Winnie's cute.
Oh yeah.
I kind of take the phone from him and I
Yeah.
look down and back up at him and say, I dabble.
Well, if you would, I would greatly appreciate any efforts that you could give towards.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Give me a tinkering check.
Okay.
Hey, Al.
Ooh, okay, that's gonna be that. Do I have proficiency in Tinkers? I do.
In
That's like you're an
AT&T
artificer.
tools.
You should be.
And then I don't have advantage on this, do I?
No, you have expertise though.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
cool.
can't help on this. Zephyr could
Um,
maybe help.
So this is.
He used my bardic already.
I did.
I'll
And then
give
I'll
it to you
add a
again.
flash of genius.
I was gonna say it's a short rest. It's like
Yeah, I'll give it to him again. I want to
Okay.
see this guy's cringy musically dances.
Oh, it ain't musically.
Oh no.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Minus,
It's Instagram Reels.
you said you were doing a bardic?
yeah, I'm excited about what era of social media this guy lives in.
Yeah.
It's Vine, but like the worst part of Vine.
I got a 27.
A 27. You kind of look at this device, and you make this connection that it can probably be charged via wireless charging of some capacity. So you kind of just like hold it in your palm. You send a little bit of like electrical magical energy through the circuits in your hand, and a little green light like pops on. And after about like a minute or so, the screen blares to life with a almost naked picture of this man. He is wearing a very scandalous like Speedo doesn't leave anything to the imagination.
Ooh.
Okay.
There are no
Zephyr
tan
shoots
lines that aren't supposed to be
Winnie's
there.
eyes.
Well, your phone, it's charged.
Oh my god, thank you so much. You are a pleasure.
It's worse
Thank
than
you.
Todd's YouTube shorts.
I'm going back over here.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Thank you for your services, Al.
He grabs the phone. He like takes the device from you, and he like turns to the rest of you. What? I know this might be a big ask, but would the rest of you mind being in a little video? For me, it has been quite a while. I was just curious if I could maybe start up my vlogs again.
You know what? I think that would be a brilliant idea, and we can get a bit of a demonstration about your influencing capabilities.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. He grabs the device, and you see him tap a couple of things, and there is, for those of you that are magically inclined and notice, which I think is everyone now that has some aspect of magical intuition.
Everyone has one level in spellcasting.
He displays a use of magic and is able to activate enchantments on this device as he kind of like tosses it up in the air, and it begins to float about a foot or two away from him at all times, and kind of like tracks around him. And he begins to look to the camera. Y'all are gonna have to bear with me on this one. But he's like, hey everyone, welcome to my vlog. It has been quite a while with all of you. I'm so happy to be back. I've just been told that I'm in this location called the Waste. It's like super rad. There's like sand everywhere. I'm with these amazing people that I just met. We've got the lovely Winifred over here. Say hi, Winifred. Beautiful. And of course their advisor, Lily. And a couple of other people over here that are fantastic. But I just wanted to like check in with all of you and see how we're doing. See if anyone over here is still on here. Like, it's been such a long time. But as always, like and subscribe. Buttons are right below. The descriptions for all products used in this video are written out and will be tagged at the end. Thank you so much, y'all. And I'm going to be checking in with you. I'm going to be keeping you updated on all of the bits of this journey that I'm taking with these lovely folks. Thank you so much. Brad, signing off for now.
We have our own videographer.
Products? What products?
Lily's like
What products
confused.
do you use in this video?
Lily's confused that his thing is just Brad. Like, how did he get that? I'm at Brad? Are you kidding?
How lucky.
He got lucky. Or, Daddy had money.
I guess they already paid for it.
Probably, let's be real.
Trust fund,
So,
baby!
What does
King of the
that
frat house.
accomplish?
Oh, it's just like, it like keeps people updated on like what I'm doing with my life. And like, through that, they're able to like escape their own lives. And it brings them like a sense of like comfort and clarity, like the comparison.
So like reading.
Yeah, but it's like more visual.
Interesting.
Winnie, could I have a word?
Yes, actually, Mr. Jenkins, you've demonstrated your influencing quite capably. We would love to take a
Sweet.
minute to discuss as a group exactly what kind of prospects we're looking at here.
Fantastic. I'm just gonna go get some B-roll footage of the area to like splice in over my like talking and stuff. So yeah, I'll just be like right over here.
Make sure you go as far away as possible. If you feel something in like the back of your brain kind of like driving you mad, it means that there's like really good footage.
Ah, sweet. Thank you.
That's the muses speaking to you directly.
Zephyr!
And he wanders off, and he like you see him like toss his phone like a frisbee, and it like levitates in midair and starts taking these like beautiful aerial shots of the land around him.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy's full of shit.
Yeah, but that thing he's got isn't.
Okay, that
Yeah.
is really cool. I'll give him that. I'm a little.
Februm, I
do
don't
want
like
one.
where you're going with this.
Did we
I'm not-
really?
I just want to look at it.
Did we? Februm, what did
Just
what
want
did
to
you
talk
need?
to him.
I just want to talk to him.
Just want to.
Al, what do you even see on his
You don't want to know.
on his side?
You don't
Do I want to
what?
know?
Would Winnie?
At this
You're
moment,
having too
you
much
see him.
fun
He
with
like
this.
fully unbuttons his shirt and like kind of like
Oh,
takes
good.
and like takes it off. His back muscles, like even after this petrification, it has not weakened him at all. They're like ripped all the way down. His back has abs.
Oh, funny.
He is so
His
chiseled.
abs have abs.
Okay,
He's
but they're
ripped.
Octavia's
You know who
like-
chiseled him?
That's
Like
about.
this
They
is
could trade him to be a fighter, barbarian, maybe.
the bard role's kind of already filled in this party, so you know.
He said barbarian, Zephyr. Don't worry, your
Yeah.
ego's fine.
Here's the
You
thing,
know,
Zephyr.
multi.
He can record things with it in his own quirky way. He can make us feel good and special. And when he plays that footage saying, "Oh, I'm Brad and I'm the owner of this channel," or whatever, no one's gonna give a shit because it's us they're gonna be looking at.
But also, like,
And he seems to be
No.
good at getting footage.
counterpoint.
What is footage?
He knows at least one of the three goddesses. Which means if they see that
No,
he
no, no.
starts uploading and sees us in it, they're gonna know where we are.
I
The
don't.
They kinda
gods are
wanna
really
kill
watching
us.
his vlogs.
Zephyr, he can't
Maybe.
upload it to anything.
Yeah, there's no
If I understand what uploading is,
What is
you would
uploading?
need some kind of infrastructure to do that.
What is happening?
What's
What are they talking
Oh,
about?
Okay.
Zephyr, there's no Wi-Fi out here.
The Wi-Fi's down.
I'm just saying he can keep them on his little thing, and then we'll have these memories for later.
And then we take it from him.
And
in
we
case
don't
we
have
need
to.
proof or something.
And we don't have to unalive him.
Okay.
What is the purpose of us having this individual with us? Like,
It's
should we turn
fun.
around and take him to the refugee? What if he dies?
Well,
Can
He's
he-
gonna die anyway. Like
Look at the
there's
phone.
like 999 possibilities that he dies, and there's one that he lives.
Can we
Why
at
don't
least see
we
if he
just-
can do anything
don't we just
helpful?
take-
Can he
his phone.
fight?
We
Can
at
he?
least
Yes,
try
yes, that's what I
to
meant.
teach him
Can,
to fight.
can
We
he
can
fight?
teach him
Can
to
he
fight or defend himself or do
cook?
anything?
Like, let's.
as long as he's
I'll
recording.
test him.
I
No.
feel like if we let Zephyr test him, he's going to die because
I'm not
Zephyr's
gonna
already.
kill. I'm not gonna kill him.
I
Are you
just
sure
want to
about
talk
that?
to him.
I
just
just
want to talk to him.
want
Just
to
one.
talk.
I'm not sure. I
Look.
believe you right now.
Look. When have I?
I'll fight him.
When have I? I'd watch
Why?
it.
What?
Okay.
How about we just let him try to attack me?
Al,
I'll
you'll
throw
kill
a
him. You
punch or
almost killed
two.
Axel.
Yeah, let's not.
yeah, that
I have
really
a
wasn't
clearer
like
head.
the best
Okay,
part.
well-
You weren't supposed to tell anyone I told you that.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, I don't know if Lily and Octavia knew.
You.
I think
you
we've
what?
mentioned it before. I'm
Did
gonna
we?
be perfectly
Okay.
Side
honest.
comments.
Do you think I don't talk to Axel? Do you think he like likes keeping secrets like that?
I'm like really
He's
bad
my
at keeping
son.
secrets. Like
I ran to Lily like, "Ah."
Just like,
Mom!
Listen,
Mommy punch me.
I think Octavia here is the most evasive. It'd be easy to just, see if he could even land a punch on her.
That's fair. He can try.
How about we let him pick?
Who he wants to fight?
That
I'm
is a good
actually
judge of
curious to
character,
see.
actually.
You know, now I
Yes.
want to know who he's gonna
That's
pick.
a good idea,
Yeah.
Zephyr. I would love to
Hmm.
see who he wants to punch.
Yeah.
Should we go
Sounds like
get
a-
him
sounds like a
or
good idea.
Advisor.
I got you.
advisor?
Februm-
This is kind of fun. I'm gonna be real.
Februm
yes.
gotta taps the hood of the car. It was like, we'll come back to this in a second, Octavia. We gotta see.
I suppose so. This entire thing is asinine, but I guess they all go in like
Jenkins.
line.
We've come
They-
to some
they go up and line
decisions.
Oh, sweet. Just 1 second. He like
Before
flexes like as like the photo as the phone is like flying towards him, and he's like, yeah.
God, I hope it's me.
That's basically what I
Sweet.
saw, but with less clothes.
oh,
Oh really?
Oh,
Lily's like, what?
how low?
Was it like
In-
edited or something, or like what?
intriguing.
No.
Oh yeah, no, Al. From looking at his like lock screen, there maybe touch ups here and there. Like remove any like blemishes and things. They didn't. He didn't change anything about his body. That is 100% him.
He looked pretty real.
Well, maybe he is a fighter or something. You don't get ripped like that sitting on the couch.
Not by fighting either. Anyway, Mr. Jenkins,
Oh my god, yeah. What's up?
we have noted you are quite the capable influencer. We were curious about what other skill sets you might possess.
Oh well, you see, I am quite the diplomat when it comes to engaging and talking in different kind of conversations in different environments. I'm kind of a chameleon in that capacity,
Social chameleon, you know me.
I could just kind of like walk into a room, immediately kind of get the vibe, and just fit my
Act
way
like
in.
I don't know nobody.
Now, Mr. Jenkins, I should inform you that it will be quite dangerous on our journey. We would love to know if you're capable of defending yourself.
Now,
He's deciding whether to bullshit me or not.
Now, can I take a punch here and there? Absolutely. I mean, look at me. But I'm a lover, not a fighter.
You're gonna have to change
I
that real
completely
quick.
understand, but some of the entities that reside in the waste are not so loving. Would you mind throwing a punch or two at one of the Midnight Stars of your choosing in order to get a brief assessment about your abilities?
Oh, I wouldn't want to punch one of my new friends. Now, would
We
I?
are very capable, Mr. Jenkins.
Welcome to try.
Oh, I mean,
If you'd
But I
rather
would love to
duel,
see
like
what
if that like
capabilities you have in terms of fighting, Mr.
sounds
Jenkins.
better.
I don't
Yeah.
want to hurt you.
great,
I'm just here.
cool. So, I just pick someone and throw a punch.
Yeah, if you'd rather like do a duel, something a little more honorable, like you could do that, or
Up
We-
punch, plenty.
We won't fight back. We're just
We won't?
gauging. No, Zephyr, we won't. We're just gauging your potential, as it were.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm not one to back down from a challenge, and I'm sure that my meager strength is nothing in compared to your glorious adventures and such. But I might as well pick the greatest armored out of all of you. Al, would you
Ow.
would you
Let's
mind?
go.
He remembers his.
Sure. I walk up in front of him and just kind of
Clench the jaw.
punch the jaw. Helmet goes up.
Cool. What the fuck is this guy's bonus to attack?
What level?
Dexterity
what
based, I'm
proficiency bonus
sure.
Does he have? Is he if he's less than level 5, which I suspect he might be? It's +2, and then
Yeah,
plus
yeah.
strength.
Plus strength. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So he will.
So I'm
Can I-
guessing +5, maybe at
He, like-
best.
He like lines himself up. Does a couple of like flexing motions. He does like little arm things. He's like, okay.
It's still off. He didn't even
Um,
put it back on, did he?
no, he didn't put his shirt back on. He tucked it into his
funny.
waistband. Are you
Okay.
kidding me?
Oh my
God.
Good.
Tied the arms around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Okay. Let me just roll a couple, just in case.
I was gonna say, if he has like a +5 to hit, that's like,
Average rolls.
I don't, yeah.
He throws a quick 3 punches, just like a couple jabs. And Al, it doesn't go through your armor. This is not necessarily a surprise to you. There's a moment though, as he like winds up, that this individual might not have the experience of a fighter, but god damn are they strong. So there's like a little flash of worry, as he makes contact with your arm gun. You can feel it reverberate through the set, but doesn't break through, doesn't beat your AC, did not roll that well. But did, in comparison just to Gage, not that you would necessarily know this as a character, but it was 2 18s and a 14 to hit.
Well,
Okay.
I certainly felt force.
I mean, of course. I mean, like, I gotta at least give you a good run for your money, but as I said, I'm not much of a fighter, you know. I've been more of a talker.
Of course, Mr. Jenkins. Would you mind tremendously if we were to offer you a bit of real combat training? Something that can actually protect you in a pinch?
Hand down.
Oh, sweet! That would be fantastic. Like, I'm always looking for like new experiences and new things to try out. You know, just to engross myself as a person. You know, like I want to be the best person that I can be at all times.
Very respectable, Mr. Jenkins. Now then, I believe we've made our decision, and she kind of looks to the group, and everyone's like, no, and Lily's like, yes. No, but she does look to the rest of the group. So we would love for you to accompany us to our next location.
Oh my god, that is so awesome of y'all. Like, that's amazing. You know, like, I get a feeling that if you left me here alone, that's like kind of leaving me to my death, and that's like, that'd be like super bummer. But like, thank you so much,
agree, Mr.
everyone.
Jenkins.
Think of the clicks.
That decision would be super bummer, and she pointedly looks at the group. And that's why we're taking you with us, giving you some on-the-spot training, and with any luck, you'll be able to come through this alive, ideally.
Amazing.
Just
And you know,
in
like,
time for the
Think of it
judgment
like
day.
an internship.
as we're like training and everything, I'll like document the whole experience, and I can like have a whole like compilation video of our travels. I know that his accent
That
has
would be-
changed throughout me talking,
Don't
but
worry,
this is,
I've-
this
I've-
is so much
Alright.
better.
That's the influencer in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
This
I
is where
gotta
it's supposed to
totally
be.
like
You
when
found
he
it.
started by calling me pedestrian. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Ugh.
And now I'm like, okay,
Now we
I
know.
see you, Brad. I
No,
see you.
we've melded into the character. I've found Brad Jenkins through this conversation.
He exists.
Okay.
You could lose him now.
Now,
Um,
what we will require from you, Mr. Jenkins, is to limit your talking to situations when it's only like extremely necessary or when we are all engaged in communication, so as to save your voice for these wonderful recordings that you plan on making.
Oh, sweet. That works perfectly for me. I have like a telepathic voiceover. So I can just run that while I'm rolling B-roll footage. So that way we always have like a commentary, but it doesn't like interrupt the shot itself.
That's wonderful, Mr. Jenkins. And of course, you will be seated in the back of the Tide Strider. And if you need anything at all, make sure to filter your remarks through me as the advisor of this group. And I will see to it that a good resolution is reached as soon as possible. All right?
Ah, of course. This is fantastic, y'all. Like I'm so happy to be with y'all. Did you say we're the Midnight Stars?
The Midnight Stars. I suggest you remember the name.
Brad and the Midnight Stars taking on the end of the world. Fucking fantastic.
Octavia kind of leans into Lily's ear and she's just like, if we don't keep an eye on him, he's going to die.
I'm okay with that.
No.
Anything is better than leaving him.
Alright, fine. Alright, everyone into the car.
Sweet, so I'm like right over here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in the back.
Good.
Cool,
Yeah,
sweet,
somebody's
yeah.
sitting next to me.
Iris and because Iris and Axel were in the back before.
Oh, they were?
So the two of them are like,
Oh.
Oh. on perhaps on one of the
I
sides.
know
maybe.
who's in the back.
Oh.
it's the NPCs.
But now they gotta be
see
closer
what's
together,
up.
so it's a win-win.
He,
Axel
No.
sits in the middle.
They have someone watching them, so it's a win-win.
But if no other conversation that you have at the current moment, the
I do want to do that thing with Octavia. Real quick.
ooh, right, because you had that
Before we
moment where you stepped away. So as we like kind
Yeah.
of pull back, we reverse time a little bit to when Brad was taking some shirtless B-roll. Februm and Octavia, what are y'all talking about?
go. Okay. Everyone kind of starts by just popping open the hood of the car and taking a quick look at it.
Octavia leans over. She's like, are you looking for anything specific?
So, we left the car, we came back, it wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to preferably prevent that again.
Mm.
So, my thought here, if I could find a spot to perhaps put in a, possession rune,
Oh,
for you to essentially call upon the car,
that sounds like a great idea.
would be, I feel, very helpful in future endeavors.
Yes, no, by all means. Let me help you look for one. So we're rummaging through the engine carriage looking for a spot to put a possession rune that will affect the car.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and make me an Arcana check, Februm? I will say, Octavia, this is probably a little bit out of your depth.
Mhm.
You can kind of help Februm a little bit. We'll do Februm, take a guidance in this case instead of
but,
full advantage.
Is it
So
like
it-
4?
take a d4 instead of rolling with advantage, just because while Octavia is helping you, the arcana that's happening inside of this engine,
I have a -1.
yeah, it's just not the vibe.
I got a, with the guidance, would be a 28.
Sweet. You kind of look around this vehicle, and while there are several different open spots that you could inscribe runes on, you have a feeling that if you wanted like a possession rune to take effect on this vehicle, you're going to have to inscribe it on the engine itself.
Mm-hmm.
Which does run the risk of blowing up the whole car. Because you are...
Not a guarantee, though.
It is the same, is what you've kind of run into before, of you're enchanting an already magical item. And this is a very powerful magical item. Not something that you're even familiar with. The mechanisms that are being engaged in this vehicle are, to say the least, of the old world. This is magical engineering that has been lost to time, that the lake folk were able to piece together and make work again. Like, there is no way
That's
that
my people.
anyone in Aofic was able to make this from scratch, but the best artificers from the lake folk came together and made this functional.
Don't blow up my car, Februm.
Well, I suppose if I try to do this, there is that chance. It does look like there's some spots where I could maybe modify, if I were to find some different runes for it. But with something as specific as this, I think I would need to put it on the engine directly, which is a very critical part of the car, so...
Don't blow up my car, Februm.
Maybe I could grab Al, and we could try working on it together if you wish to run that risk.
As much as it pains me to admit, maybe including Zephyr on this endeavor wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Sure, we can get the boys on it.
Great. And I
There's
will.
something unsettling about Februm going, we can get boys on it.
Axel
Yeah,
looks
we can-
over. Did you say the boys?
We can
Axel,
see if
yes.
Brad can help.
No.
Brad might know.
Brad might be a
uncle
car guy.
might-
He-
Brad's
Octavia,
uncle might be a
like,
mechanic.
Actually, he might be a car.
Okay, so
Brad's uncle
just
might be a
for-
mechanic. I'm just saying.
just for time's sake and things making sense, like they go and have that talk with Brad. Everyone gets back towards the car, and Octavia pauses and she turns and looks at Brad and she's like, "Tell me, love, do you know anything about cars?"
Ugh, do I? I was
That is the question.
Yeah, do you?
I was a little bit of the connoisseur in my time. You know, I like modded my own engine and everything, but can't toot my own horn too much. You know, like of course
come
we
here,
had
Brad.
the oh
Come,
I'll
just
toot
come.
the cars.
sure, yeah, great, cool.
Just what?
She like will lead him, and then she'll be like, "Februm, Axel, Al." She like hesitates, Zephyr, and she pulls the guys. She pulls the guys around. She's like, "Februm here needs to write some sort of possession rune onto the engine, so that nobody decides to go take a joyride again, because that happened at one point, and this is my baby." And I really would like it not to explode when he does that.
I
Yes.
thought Perseus was your baby.
Perseus is my baby, and speaking of which, he's
My
been like
fur
on her
baby.
shoulder this entire time. She's like, fur baby, car baby, very different.
Brad
Lily
walks.
nods approvingly.
Brad walks over and like looks over to the hood. He's like, "Oh my god, sweet! You got a hydromechanical magi engine. That is so sick.
Yes, and it
Sure.
was a gift from my uncle, which
Only
is
the
very
second
important
for
to
Miss
me.
Winifred.
And it's how I, and she like thinks quickly, and it's how I chauffeur Miss Winifred around. So if you could help assist Februm into that possession rune without the engine blowing up, that would be fantastic.
He glances over at Winnie. He's like, oh yeah, like, I think I can like help out with this, but like, I don't know if you really want to get into it out here. Like, you're probably gonna want to like jack the car up at least so that you can get underneath to the exhaust ports.
I could lift the car.
All right.
Yeah, but like,
Just
I don't know if you really want to hold it and stuff. Like, you got your jitters and everything. If we find like a good workshop, I think that's probably the best place to do this.
I could just slap a levitation rune on the side
You
of
know,
it.
my father
I
always
can
said the best
cast
workshop is the
levitate.
one you make on your own.
I can just.
Words of
Actually,
wisdom,
probably more
Al.
than 500 pounds.
Everyone's aware that this car is already levitating, right? And like adding additional levitation runes probably isn't gonna like affect it that much because it does weigh over the
Yeah,
amount that a levitation rune allows.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, like, y'all are pretty awesome and everything, but I wouldn't attempt to modify the engine out here, at least. You know, but that's just me.
That's just a theory.
Damn.
Brad
Shake
theory.
theory.
Oh my God,
A Brad theory.
A Brad
No,
theory.
don't make
Howdy,
it
y'all.
Matt Pat.
Per-
This Matt Pat is way
Um,
too good for this guy.
It's true.
Perhaps he is right. Maybe we should get to our next destination first and see
And all
where that
right,
takes us.
Fine.
sounds like a plan.
We could do that.
Well then, everyone file in, and I'll get us started. Thank you, Brad.
Ah, pleasure. Octavia, right?
Yes, Octavia, but you can call me Tavi.
Ah, Tavi. Pleasure to meet you.
What?
Oh, is this your... Is this your little guy over here? He's, like, adorable. I haven't seen one of these guys in so long.
Is he talking
May I?
about Percy?
Yeah.
Yes, of course, Perseus.
Perseus, like, is given, like, the like little side look, like...
The
But,
mask, or
like,
the
Brad
mask.
comes over, and he does this thing where he like, bows his head, reaches out his hand, and then brushes Perseus's chest, and Perseus, like, melts. The wings kind of, like, flutter at the edge. She's like, oh, yeah, there we go.
I see you're very familiar with Tressum.
Oh, yeah, they were, like, all over the place. I had this friend who had, like, 3 or 4 of them, and, like, I would always hang out, like, with my schedule and stuff, I, like, knew I couldn't, like, have one at home, and, like, they're pretty, like, free-spirited, but I always liked hanging out with them. They're, like, super great, and, you know, like, I would volunteer at the shelter every so often, too, so, like, you kind of pick up a couple of things here and there.
Yes, of course. Well, enchanted, Brad. And she will,
Sweet.
like, she'll make the to get Perseus to hop back under her shoulder, and she'll hop in the driver's seat. And she's like actually moderately impressed. She's like, huh.
Did I just get replaced?
Axel,
I
like,
can't believe you let
Axel
me
comes
call
over
her
to you,
Tavi.
Zephyr.
Let you call her Tavi.
I'm like, what?
Axel
Yeah.
comes over to you, Zephyr, and he's like, no one could replace you.
Thanks, buddy.
It's okay. He, like, brings you, he, like, gives you, like, a little side
I go in
hug.
for a little like side hug. with-
Yep.
All right,
When he looks
everyone
back-
get in. I don't want to leave you behind.
Let's go.
Huh?
Hey, Winnie, you want to sit up front with me? No, I like make direct eye contact with Brad.
Yeah,
You
okay.
see that, like, you try to look at Brad. He has already, like, thrown up his phone in the back, and he's, like, getting a shot of you all, like, driving away from the back, like, angled
From
towards
him.
everyone else.
Good. Oh my gosh.
No, he's in the vehicle.
Check it out, getting left in the waste again? Hell yeah.
I can't with this guy.
Is he
So funny.
is he the kind of guy that would sit right in between Axel and Iris?
No, he sits on the edge.
Okay.
Axel sits in the middle, and Iris
He doesn't
is on
want anyone in the shot.
No, he's on the right. Axel's in the middle. Iris is on the left.
Okay.
But yeah, the Tide Strider rockets off into the waste. There is a moment where Brad like jerks back a little bit. He's like, "Oh, it's got some kick on it."
Yes, it does.
Octavia like throws her hand in the air and she's like, and we're leaving everything in the dust. Mm.
That's all that's really left, but
As your party rockets onward into the waste in their northern direction, let's go ahead and take a break there. Take a quick little break. And we're back! Howdy, everyone! Our party has just met a brand new NPC. His name is Brad Jenkins. He was an influencer of the old world, and I don't know about anyone else, but he is hot as shit. But more importantly, our party is rocketing north to their next destination, blazing through the wastes. It will take you probably a couple of days to get to your next location. So in the meantime, if I could have someone roll a d20 for me, that would be fantastic. Like, we'll probably need 4 of them in total, but we'll go one at a time. Okay.
I will take the first one if no one else is doing it.
I already rolled it.
Cool.
It's
We'll
a
go
17.
It is a 17. Fantastic, beautiful. You rocket through the waste. You see similar cities to the one that you had passed in the distance, far off through the haze. It almost looks like a mirage in different directions. Nothing necessarily draws your attention. And while you do have several small encounters throughout the day, you run into some more undead at one point. You run into some heavily deranged individuals that have been taken over by the Devouring. There's not much of note. There's not much of challenge. There are several times where, like, Brad is getting a shot of the battle as it's happening. But your first day goes by uneventfully. Day 2.
Day 2.
Also, if anyone
Never,
wants to talk or anything like that, stop me at any point in time.
for bardic and long rest purposes, does that count?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
It's like, if you run into something major in the next couple of days, that'll count for your hit dice. But if you make it 2 days, you should be fine to have all of your hit dice back. But with that, I need day 2's roll.
I'll roll it.
Okay.
And Dane should be clear of his
5.
exhaustion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Good. Just double checking.
Winnie, did you say a 5?
5.
Oh.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
We're running the
Oops.
Faulkner again.
No!
The bones.
The bones.
It's my friends who promised me their dead bones.
Can bones die? Can bones truly die?
Only when a man forgets them.
Can I have Winnie? Can you roll a d6 for me?
Oh goodness. If a bone falls in the waste and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? It's truly a bone.
True.
If a bone is in the waste and no one's around to see it, did it really die?
4. You said roll a d6, right?
I did say roll a d6.
Okay, that's 4.
Okay.
4 dire wolves.
That's nothing.
4
Hey, I guess
beholders
it's not.
in the waste.
4 beholders.
You travel throughout the day. The weather picks up a little weirdly. There's a sandstorm of sorts. Red lightning crackles through the sky. Nothing that immediately impacts your journey. Octavia, you kind of throw on some goggles, wrap your head up, and keep the car moving. It does seem to have some kind of, like, relative environmental shielding. You're still getting some sand in your mouth if you open it up while you're driving, but you're not getting, like, any stinging. Nothing hurts as the car goes through this sandstorm. You end up finding a cavern to rest in the night. You kind of pull the car across the entranceway to block most of the winds as you wait for the sandstorm to pass. But as you all sleep, Al, you find yourself peacefully back in Aophik, working away at the forge. You have just finished up a couple custom orders for some clients. A very familiar dream. As you feel a gentle hand on your back. Now, Aldrich, you can't be working yourself away all day now, can you? Take a break.
I know I should. I'm almost done with this. I'll be done.
You can finish it tomorrow. You're already a day ahead. Come on.
All right, I can finish it tomorrow.
You look down at your hands and you do not see the withered wrinkles or any of the discoloration. You are younger. You are in your 30s probably, if not even a little younger than that. You feel the energy of your youth, and you look around and you see an Eleanor before she was ever sick, before it was ever anything on your thought process. And for a minute, you forget that this is a dream. She takes your hand and brings you inside. She has set up a couple of candles and a meager meal, but a beautiful one. She's like, well, I just put Mel down, so I figured that we could, take a second.
Well, it would be a shame to let all of this go to waste.
Of course. I'm just gonna go flip the closed sign.
All right.
She runs off. You hear her kind of prance through the living room, closing up the shop for the day a little earlier than you originally intended. She comes back, though. Did you sit at the table at all?
Yeah,
Or-
I probably would have looked over it and kind of just take it in, and then
It is...
no, I would pull out I would stand behind her chair and pull it out for her and wait till she comes back.
She races back in the room. She has taken off her apron that she usually wears to reveal it's nothing fancy, but it's new. It is a cotton gown. It's got these kind of beautiful red and purple flowers that kind of spin and wrap up around the gown itself. It's kind of a natural color, kind of an off-white. It kind of poofs out at the bottom. And she, like, stumbles back in a rush. She's like, Aldrich, you shouldn't have.
Well, I didn't want to sit down before you. You put on all this work.
Oh, wow, thank you, good sir. She does, like, a little curtsy in her dress. She walks over, she sits down, lets you, like, push her in. The plates are on the counter.
Of course. I'll go grab the plates. And bring them back.
So, tell me, how's work? What have you been up to? You know, you kind of go into a little trance when you're in there. You know, your mind wanders.
Yeah, you know, just trying to finish up these pieces so I can, you know, spend a little more time with you and Mal. You know, I'm just trying to get everything out of the way.
Oh,
You're nice to have this.
Ooh.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're always working so hard, you know. I know business has been slow recently, but
well, that's fine. It just means I can spend more time with you and Mal, and what else could I want?
that's all I want. And you see, she like reaches her hand across the table.
I kind of reach across and put my hand over hers.
She grabs onto your hand, and you feel the warmth that you've been missing for decades at this point kind of radiate through the rest of your body. Her soft but firm touch, a woman who may not show her strength, but holds it in reserve. You know I miss you, Al.
I'm here. I'm always here. I haven't left.
I know you're here, but I feel like you're not actually here sometimes. You are out adventuring in your head, and you know, I mean, I don't want to like jump to conclusions, but part of me like feels like you should have gone to Ravensight and, you know, like done the adventuring, done the Night Eyes. I don't want you to feel like you ever, I don't know, compromised. I want you to know that I support you. And while it is nice to have you here, can't help but feel like you're wandering.
You know, sometimes I may daydream while I'm working, but I don't have any regrets about the life that I chose, about the life that we've made. I would give anything in the world to keep this. And maybe we still got life in us. Maybe far in the future we'll go out adventuring together. Maybe even bring Mal along.
Oh, now let's not go too far. I don't.
Well,
Mal's a lovely boy, but a fighter. I don't know if
he certainly has your strength.
Jesus, he knocked over the bookshelf the other day, and good lord, I thought I was gonna. I don't know.
Oh, is he okay? I can fix the bookshelf, but
That boy could bounce off of 3 walls, and I don't think any of them are gonna leave a scratch, but good lord, did he leave 3 dents.
oh no. I'll take care of those tomorrow. Oh, that boy.
If you began adventuring sooner, do you think you would have been able to save me?
I'm sorry?
Your journey, your adventures. With your new group, of course. If you would have started sooner, do you think you would have been able to save me? Do you ever think about that? That the lovely little life that we had, while beautiful at the time, was all just a flash? A quick spark igniting before you inevitably burnt me out?
I think about that all the time. What do you mean I burnt you out?
I mean, this curse isn't mine. Have no tie to the fall. Maybe you just stumbled upon it a little too late. She looks at you and smiles. I guess we'll never know, though. I'm gone. You're there. We will be together again. Eventually, I'm sure.
We will. I'm not saying goodbye again.
I wouldn't ask you to. She stands up from the table, moves around it, and kind of places her hand on your shoulder. She reaches down and kisses the top of your head. Find me again, Al. She
Where?
takes 2 steps away. You look behind you. She's gone. There is a small pile of ash on the floor. It begins to blow away in the wind, you still smell her perfume as it begins to waft away from you. You look down at your ankle and you see a chain grabbing on one leg, then the other. You see the chains wrap up your legs as they begin to pull you underneath the table. The chair slips out from you as you feel yourself dragged across hot coals. Your legs screaming in pain, you suddenly relive the accident. Your legs shatter and crack underneath you. Your heart burns, and your eyes are scorched as you cry, and the tears instantly evaporate. You wake up with a start, breathing heavy. The wind still blows outside, and a longing in your heart. You see the little ankle monitor quickly flashes red for a second before flipping back to green.
Is anyone else awake?
Not sure if anyone took watches, but I would say, unless you want someone to be awake, you are kind of in the back of the cavern.
You know what? Octavia will be awake. I've made that decision. She is sitting there. This is probably her watch. And she is sitting there looking outside of the cave. She's turning the amulet in her hands as she looks outside the cave.
I don't think I'll say anything.
Do I need to roll some sort of perception to see if I notice that he woke up with a start, or?
I'm probably going to say that the wind and sand blowing outside is loud enough that unless Al wants to make his presence known, it'd be very difficult to pick up his movements.
Okay. And Octavia's kind of in her own head anyways. But, alright. Nothing is said.
I think I'll try to go back to sleep, but not really be able to, and eventually end up getting up and acknowledging Octavia and let her know that I'll be working on something in the cavern deeper back.
You alright, Al?
Yes. The dreams, I had a dream. I'd rather not talk about it right now.
Alright. If you change your mind, I'm not going anywhere. Exactly. It'll be for some time. It's kind of like we're traveling in a car hurtling to an onward destination for foreseeable future, so.
I appreciate
have a good night, Al.
You too.
And just for cute factor, Perseus will wind between his legs and crawl up to his shoulder and purr in his ear and stay there.
Wraps up around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
I give him a little...
Perseus takes like scarf position where like his legs are just like over either side.
Yes.
And then I'll go back into the cave and start working on some infusions.
Sick.
Eventually, the storm passes. You are able to get all of your stuff together. There's definitely a good, 30 minutes where people are just pouring sand out of things. It's red and gray, and there are shards of metallic bits. But eventually, people get as unsanded as they possibly can, and you hit the road for your third day of travel. If someone else can roll me another d20.
Sorry,
I
Al.
got it.
It's all good.
I rolled a 16.
A 16.
Yes.
Okay. You jump back in the car, a clear day, as clear as you can be in a world of eternal darkness. You find a patch of land that seems to be relatively flat. It's not cobblestone, but it has been paved. Finding your way back onto a road of some kind that towers above the rest of the land. A highway, if you would. Which
Okay.
speeds
It's a
up
bit of a stretch.
a bit of a stretch.
Stretch of road.
A high rail, maybe, potentially. But you make good time on your journey. You have more photos from Brad. There are a couple times where Brad attempts to pull people away during pit stops to try to get confessionals. We're like, how are you feeling? I would say he pulls Tavi first, because he seems to make a good connection to that. And be like, so Tavi, tell me how this trip has been affecting you. What have you experienced? What are some of your cool encounters? What are you thinking?
Yes, of course. Well, I would like to consider myself a rather stealthy individual. Your average, swashbuckler, if you will. And we almost endangered ourselves by enraging a large mob of zombies. And they were all clustered on top of each other and moved in a blob. Truly horrific. But, it's just another flash in the pan.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Tavi. Pulls the camera out. Yeah, and this is Tavi. She's our driver. She's our stealthy person. She's all that great stuff. If you want to check out more about her, go look at episodes 3 and the original episode. We do some focusing on all of her skills there. Thank you so much, y'all. But yeah, day goes by relatively uneventfully.
Nice.
Fourth day, one more roll.
I'll do it.
Sweet.
Yay!
I'm so sorry, Al.
Oh no.
Did another 5?
I got a 3.
Oh god.
Roll a d6.
They can't all be about Al.
They can't.
Yeah.
Surely not.
Surely not.
Surely not. 1.
Surely not.
You rolled a 1?
Oh, is it time?
Are you sure?
It's a D6, right?
I did say a d6.
Yep.
Fuck.
Rolled a 1.
Okay.
Oh, he's stretching.
Surely I don't have to do this right
Oh
now.
boy.
Oh,
no.
they stretching.
Play stretching.
And that's where we're gonna end it, guys. Alright.
All right.
See you later.
Good game.
No, we need to know what it is before then.
I gotta do some thinking real fast. Did anyone have anything they wanted to talk about on this fourth? You have been traveling for 4 days, and you've had small encounters here and there. This is not a super peaceful journey, but all of these encounters are far below your power levels as a group, especially. We're talking cantrips, basic attacks are more than enough to take out any of these conflicts that you're running into. You haven't encountered any powerful foes, at least out here quite yet.
And at least ones that haven't wanted to fight us yet.
And there's definitely been the moment where you've seen larger creatures on the horizon, but there seems to be a berth, at least, that is being taken by some of these larger creatures.
Like they're avoiding us?
Or at least not coming any closer.
Hmm.
Do you guys think the shards keeping them back?
Well, don't they repel the devouring?
Touche.
Brad, what
Yeah.
could you
Yeah.
actually tell us a little bit about the city you are from?
Oh,
Before,
I was just
you know,
visiting the
everything.
city that you found me in, I'm assuming. If you pulled me up from a train stop. But the city that I was from was the biggest city in the world kind of deal. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I mean I didn't make it. So but it was just pretty awesome place called New York.
You're from New York.
New York?
Okay, all right.
Oh, you're a New Yorker?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I love how it sounds like New York, but with Wisconsin added in. Are you from New York?
Oh, you're from New York.
Oh sure.
Oh yeah, I'm from New York.
Oh, sure.
Oh sure.
It
Don't
was
bring out the language of my people.
It was the home of magical innovation for the last 4 decades. Or I mean 4 decades before everything went to
plus
shit.
2,000 years. But
And I it was always pretty hush hush, but I got some top secret intel that's where some of the gods were created. I know, I mean a while ago, even before my time, but there were still research facilities and stuff that were trying to artificially create deities without the effects of the shards. It was some top insider stuff.
So then, in relativity, how far away was the city that you were visiting?
Oh, thousands of miles away.
Oh,
do you know the direction?
so we're not quite close.
Yeah, I teleported
Almost
in.
there.
I'm it's kind of hard to get your bearings when everything looks the same. But I do think it was in a eastward direction from where we were.
Write that down. Write that down.
So we're in Ohio, correct?
No.
No,
No.
we can't be.
Surely
not.
not.
Wait, so you got to meet Crookton, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I said hi. I don't know if she would ever remember me. She's pretty important.
Yeah,
She's quite important right now.
she's quite important to me.
That
Yeah,
too.
that hasn't changed.
What do you know about her? What was she like?
Oh, she's wicked smart. Top innovator in the field. One of the few gods that love to interact with people. Most people they got their godhood and they kind of got a little high and mighty and stuff and accepted followers and yada yada yada. But Crookton really wanted to research more. That was her bread and butter. She would always travel around, gather new information, was always talking to the other gods too, and she'd always do these conferences where she'd give big speeches and she'd get paid a whole bunch of gold for it, of course, but she didn't really need gold because she's a god. But yeah, she was super cool and super well spoken, but definitely was thinking about 30 things at the same time.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, she was super cool.
I can't wait to really meet her. I mean, I've met her before, I guess, but it's been a while.
I wonder how she's doing. It's been, I guess, 2,000 years. I mean, no one really knew how long, like, the godhood was gonna last anyway.
Yeah.
It was always one of those, like, running theories of, like, when is this divinity gonna run out?
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you, like, knew this. Like, gods, yeah, were artificially created. God is more of, like, a term of, like, a power level thing and not, like, a worship status.
Yeah.
Are you
like, I
referring
got
to
that
just
part, but, like,
how long it would take
it
for them to be
runs out?
replaced?
Oh, no, like, we never replaced the gods. Like, these ones were created, and then there were scientists that were working on, like, predictions about if they had to be replaced, or if they were going to be enveloped in the shards and stuff like that. There's a really popular, like, TAD talk about it.
So you're familiar with the shards? Tad talk.
So in those theories, what happened when the godhood ran out?
Depends on who you talk to. Some people said that, like, if a god or, like, gods of a certain plane, like, ceased to exist, then the whole plane would collapse, taking all of its inhabitants with it. So, like, that was, like, not really fun, but...
Oh, do we have news for you? We got good
like-
news and bad news.
It's almost entirely
Good
bad.
news. They were
It's
right.
almost entirely
Bad news. They were right. So
But there were, like, some people that were, like, trying to, like... And, like, Crookton was one of these individuals that was, like, trying to figure out how to, like, ungod yourself without, like, immediately turning to dust.
Wait, so she didn't want to be a god?
I mean, like, I think she enjoyed it a lot, and there was, like, a lot that came with, like, the immortality of being a god. But, like, if we're gonna be perfectly honest, like, she never really took to, like, the god stuff in its entirety. I mean, to be perfectly honest, the fact that, like, you're here does go against the statues that the gods were supposed to operate underneath.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're, like, half divine blood, half mortal blood, kind of in this in-between, and that was, like, really highly discouraged. Highly discouraged, was illegal.
Do you
Why?
think it would still be illegal, like, hypothetically?
I mean, considering
20-some
society's
years
collapsed,
ago?
I'm probably gonna say no.
Sick.
it should be fine then.
But, like, there was a lot of, like, you know, like, theories and, like, prophecies and stuff about, like, demigods coming to existence and bringing about the end of the world, and, you know, like, stuff like that.
Something like the
Oh.
Wish Child. Hmm?
Sure.
Slowly
Yeah!
turns to the back of the car and look at Axel like,
And that one was a weird prophecy, too, because it was a double divine.
So we've got good news. We've got bad news.
These prophecies are going crazy, surely.
So who
Yeah,
can
like,
tell the future in your timeline?
Fire.
Yeah, who?
Yeah. Can we get some more of those just off the tongue?
More
did you know
prophecies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Um,
curious.
A group of devilishly
They seem very
handsome,
interesting possibilities.
okay.
coming
They're,
together to save the world, or
I mean, there was, like, this, like, prophecy about, God. It was about, like, friends turning to enemies and creating a second collapse of the world, but, like, it was one of those, like, weird things where, like, the first collapse hadn't happened yet. I mean, it's happened now, so I guess, like, this one's a little more relevant. But, like, people, like, turning on friends that they used to have for, like, centuries, for greater power and like that whole yards.
Oh,
Oh,
we haven't
Oh,
been
we got
alive
some
for
news for you.
centuries.
yeah. No, we're fine.
No.
Oh, guys.
That was
Guys. Yeah.
that already happened.
Yeah.
No way!
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Aofic and Borden and Tridel. Yeah.
I don't get
The
Dragons.
the dragons.
The
Lily.
dragons, Lily.
They weren't friends.
At one point, they were.
They were vying for power.
I don't know. They were kind of like
I don't
professional.
know about one.
We're not gonna turn on each other
Acquaintances.
in a couple centuries for power, right?
I mean,
No.
not unless
Assuming
you,
you live that long,
not
Zelda.
not
unless
even
you
gonna
all
live
reach
that
like
long.
godhood.
Who knows? You know.
Which I mean, like,
No.
our man over here could probably make happen, like if he really wanted to, and he like points to Zephyr.
What?
Our man?
Our man.
Sure.
Land that is ours.
He's our man.
That wasn't
about
the
him?
point.
I don't know if
Wait,
I'm
what about
flattered that you.
What about him?
Zephyr
believe
can
me
what
or
now?
Offended that you. Yeah, I can what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you all already knew. Like, I mean, like I thought that's why like you were like traveling with Winifred and stuff like that was to like help her figure all of that stuff out.
Mr. Jenkins, I don't know
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
gonna need
realize,
you to
but
explain.
this information has been lost to mortals for literally centuries.
Mm-hmm.
Just
The
about
fact that we have
2,000
any
years.
knowledge whatsoever is already quite the epiphany.
Sweet, sweet. So like it was Zeke, right?
Close.
Zephyr.
Ah, Zephyr. Sorry, my bad, dude.
Zachary, that's
Um,
right. Okay.
But like Zachary over here is like a programmer.
Yeah,
could-
still don't really know
yeah.
what that means.
You like your bloodline created magic.
Oh, sick.
Like that all exists because like
Um.
your bloodline like figured it out and like we're the first to tap into it, and like no one really understood like how it works entirely, but like magic kind of like chose you.
And
That's
you could tell that just by looking at him.
Oh, I like pulled up this app on my phone and kind of just like scanned everyone.
And
Yeah,
what,
right.
what did it?
Wi-Fi?
And you're gonna.
What does it?
Don't you need like an infrastructure?
I mean, like I usually
Your phone plan must be hella good to be getting bars out here. Like, what is happening?
I mean I usually do need like a magical digital connection, but I also just like walked over towards Xavier over there, and like everything like definitely connected
on.
in. So like, I'm so sorry. Like
So
if I'm
walking
like
hotspot.
You're a
Yeah.
router.
Oh,
He's our IT
no.
guy.
No,
so
ow,
that
don't.
app you can
Is that-
you can tell things about all of us.
What? Yeah. What?
I mean like to like a
Well, kinda
general
make it.
extent. There, so like the godhood and everything, and as people were like modifying their own genetics, there became like a group of people that came out that were concerned that people were like not who they said they were. So the programmers developed a app to be able to like detect those with higher than average connections and power levels.
Oh, a midichlorian count.
Nice.
No, no, that was Dane. That was not Zephyr.
So like we've got like the two like partial celestials over there, then we've got like demigod, then we've got he looks at Axel and he's like, I think demigod, but like you definitely made the app glitch. And then we got a programmer, and then he like points to Octavia, is like, you're connected to a like ancient being, like not a god. This is like a being that existed before the gods were created. So it's like kind of one of those like halfway points. And then we've got you over there, and like, well, like, you give kind of a normal aura. He like points to Februm. That thing that like is on your head, like, that's some nice shit. That is like top of the line.
What do you mean nice shit?
He's just a normal guy with a cool.
God, I'm just.
Cool
I'm
He's
the
got
guy
an
that
Apple
just
Watch.
stumbled into everything, not Zephyr.
He's got the
Oh,
Google
no.
Glass. He's got the
no.
Google Glass.
Google Glass.
He makes a comeback.
No.
And then like this
It's
dude over
like
here,
nicely classified.
and he points over to Al. It was like, you got something that's like wants you bad, and it ain't good.
Yeah,
They
dude's
down
hella
bad
cursed.
corral.
Yes. Can you see anyone else?
Aren't we all?
What do you mean?
Anyone else?
What's the range on that scanner?
No, that's not what I'm asking.
They're like within Al.
Oh, Ned.
Oh, Ned.
Like an inner being. Like, can you see
Hypothetically,
my
if- you know.
hypothetically, like a.
I mean, I've got
If
I've got
you
an
were to
X-ray
have
app
another-
too, if that's what you're interested in.
I
But
think you gotta.
No.
No, I don't think that
check.
will pierce my armor.
he like pull. You see him like he opens up his app. He's like,
Don't look there.
oh, sorry, my bad, dude, my bad.
Is Al panicking?
He just notices his legs are gone.
Okay.
Yeah, the leg.
The leg,
Yeah,
the
the
leg's
leg.
gone.
But like yeah, like. Wait, or so you're, he like points to Witty, and he's like, so you're not trying to become a god?
She looks at Lily like.
Li-
"What?"
So
Lily
sorry.
scooches-
He
So,
turns
yeah,
over to Lily.
Lily scooches over and listens.
Yeah, she's like.
What? I mean, I don't want to, but does that go with what we're doing right now? Or. How do I.
Basically, if it is necessary for the next process that the world's going into, but basically we're just bringing the shards together to bring back the original god.
Oh. I heard a little bit about that. There was like a cult that wanted to do that back in the day.
It existed back in the day?
Yeah, they we
They were
just
very close.
We got some
They were
good news
very-
and bad news.
They were very prolific
It's
after
mostly
your
bad
day.
news.
Mm-hmm.
we sort of took care of the last remaining member.
Probably the reason you're still here, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So
Probably.
like, cult had a little bit of backing. I see. Great, fantastic. Octavia, make a perception check.
You got it. Oh, that was a good roll. Hold on, what's my perception? Oh, that is a good roll. That's a 25.
There's someone walking in front of the car.
Oh shit. I
We're driving.
we are driving, right?
You're driving full speed.
You are driving.
Dear God,
Yeah.
I'm
You will
driving.
demolish this man.
Yeah.
Who's driving the car? Octavia.
Me. I'm supposed to. Wait, who's driving the car? Wait, it's
Why
me.
don't we all drive?
No.
Oh my god.
She sees this person and she's like, "Fuck," and like will like swerve, and like put her foot on the brake.
I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no.
I gotta make one for Brad, Axel, and Iris.
I swear to God, if it's just like Faulkner walking through and he's like, "Oh, hello,
Oh,
Oh.
18.
fancy seeing you out
Also
here."
18.
Sweet.
Nat 20.
Nice. I got a 23.
For a total of.
What are
A
we rolling
20.
again? Dex save?
Deck save.
Deck saves.
Oh, it's actually not bad. That's 13. So actually it's not great.
I got a
Not
10.
I got it.
Okay, Axel, Al, and Zephyr go flying.
Can I hypothetically reaction cast Featherfall
Of course.
so I can make it so we don't take damage from being launched
is
to the
what
ground
it's
at high
for.
speeds?
That is
What this is
exactly what
for.
it's for.
Mhm.
As the car doesn't screech because you're not creating like friction underneath you, but the whole car lurches and tilts forward like a catapult. And while most of you are able to kind of either already buckled or able to loop yourselves into some capacity, the three of them go flying like 30 feet up in the air as the car goes from... How fast did I say that thing goes? 100 feet
Fast.
around?
120,
Yeah.
I think.
120. So
120.
you, at full speed, you're moving 240 around. And you go from 240 to 0 in about 3 seconds, if not less.
Oh,
Strong boost.
It's got good brakes on it. The three
not
of
after
them
this.
launch forward. Zephyr, you cast the feather fall, and it's almost like little parachutes get added as it stops your forward momentum, and you just kind of nicely float to the ground.
Just so we know, 240 feet per... Wait, hold on, I did this wrong. Well,
Per
240
6
feet per
seconds.
second would be 160 miles an hour. So it's like
So divide by 6.
probably about 30.
Needs to be going faster than that.
Oh,
This might
Yeah.
just be combat things. I think
miles an hour.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I think I underestimated how fast this car needs to travel. It's probably closer to 300 feet around because that is how fast the wind walk does, and I think that's a good estimate for how fast this car moves. So it is 600 feet around, so 100 feet a second.
Yep.
that's fast.
That's pretty fast.
That is 68 miles an hour.
Yeah, so that's a good that's a good highway
And
speed.
if we
highway
bumped
speed.
it up like a few feet per second, it might be even better.
Yeah.
But Octavia, you slam on the brakes. The car jolts. Party members go flying. There is definitely the nicely organized and packed camping supplies that's in the trunk has fallen over and toppled. You can only
Aw.
tell by the sounds. And as the car kind of like settles back down, you look up and there's nothing in front of you.
Oh no, not spoopy shit. Oh no.
What?
Javi, what just happened?
What the actual fuck?
I hate this thing.
There was a person.
This is why you should. This is why I should drive.
No, absolutely not. That's an even worse idea. There was a person that walked in front of the car. I was going to hit them. That's why I
Lily
stopped.
looks over the edge of the car to see if there's someone under the car.
Lily, you give a nice little look. You kind of scan back and forth. You don't see remnants, you don't see body parts, and you don't see a full body. So
Not behind us, not under us.
go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
He's
Kapow.
behind you.
Oh, jeez.
Right behind you.
It's not as bad as, it's not bad like last time. I was rolling bad perception checks last time. So this time that's a 30.
You look around, and I think a 30 is gonna give you something.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of glance around, and this is pretty soft sand where you're at. You can see that there are definitely tracks heading off. So you're heading north, so it would have been an eastern direction. You see like a set of tracks that lead right up to the point at which would have been right in front of the car when you stopped, and then nothing. And you like glance around and you can't see any kind of creature that would have left these tracks, but they look humanoid.
I'm hopping out. I want to get a closer look. Lily's in ranger mode.
Is anyone able to see
Did it-
invisibility?
Yeah, did it perhaps turn invisible?
I can. I remembered this time. I can see invisibility. Let me cast that shit. Hold on. I'm going to cast See Invisibility.
You cast See Invisibility. The world around you takes on blue tint. It's almost like putting on ski goggles.
Ooh.
As little flares of energy kind of speckle around you. And first of all, something that surprises you, there are orbs of energy that are kind of just like ever present all around you. They seem relatively harmless, but there are definitely like these compiled masses of magical energy that are just floating through the air. But you glance in front of the car and you don't see like an invisible creature standing there or anything like that.
No, dang it.
Brad,
Alright.
were you by chance recording when...
Sweet! Yeah, I was! I'm always recording, man!
This is one of those, he's like turned back so the camera's facing the car, and it's like, zoom in, enhance, what is that?
Let me just like pull it up. And he like taps on the device and like throws an image up in the air, and it becomes a holographic projection. He's like, I'm just gonna scrub here and let me enhance this image a little bit. I'll zoom in. I'll take a screenshot.
It's like typing in the air. Like, hold on.
Hold on.
Can I
And-
look at, like, as he's doing this, can I, like, look into the makeup of the magic?
of the device?
Yes.
You can make an Arcana check.
Likewise.
Both of you can make an Arcana check.
Very curious.
Zephyr, you can make yours with advantage.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Mhm.
Good, I need that advantage.
Wow, would you know?
It wasn't
what did you
much
know?
better.
I
I got a whole 8.
I got a 24.
24. So 8, Zephyr, this you're not getting any new information from this. But this is like a device from the old world that harnesses very similar technologies to that of your wristband and that of your EYE pod. More advanced in some ways, less advanced in others. It's kind of a like you can see where technological advancement was lost but recreated in different ways because of the collapse of the old world. It's like a sleeker all-in-one device compared to what your bracelets let you do. Thebrum, is there anything specifically you're trying to figure out about the magic of this device?
I guess he would probably be looking like specifically to see if like the inner workings of the device itself, if it has any like I guess he'd technically be looking for runes, but just like the core, I guess, of the magic itself, like its origin point.
First off, if you wanted to investigate the runes or anything of this device, if there was anything like that, you have a feeling that you'd have to take the device apart itself. But from seeing Brad use this a couple of times and watching it and studying it closely now, and what your knowledge about magic in this world is, you have a feeling that this device may not be magical by itself, but allows individuals who are not necessarily magically inclined to use the magical particles around them. It's like an interpreter.
So then what would be the outcome of someone magically inclined using it?
Who knows?
Hmm.
Theories to
As in-
ponder.
Interesting.
If you were better at magic than Brad, you'd be like fucking god tier.
But as I will say, as you've been watching Brad, every time they're doing one of these like things, they're opening a different app on the device. Like they're tapping something, and then they make something happen. So more things there. If you wanted to ask Brad about it, maybe he might know. Probably not, but. But he scrubs through the video, and he's actually gonna walk over to Zephyr, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, Zechariah, could you like help me for like
We'll
a
get
second? I like." Gotta admit, this isn't my forte, but like, I feel like you could probably like clarify this a little more. Would you mind?
Sure, I can try.
You like,
You got it, Zephyr.
I was gonna say Winnie chimes in, you can do it.
You got it.
All right. What do you need? Gladly.
he will hand the device over to you. And I would like you to make a spell casting check with advantage.
Let's go. It's just spell modifier.
Mm-hmm. So D20 plus your charisma.
With advantage?
With advantage.
That is a 21.
You get in there, and for those of you that have been viewing Zephyr ever since they've begun to interact with the particles of magic around them, this one's different. It's more precise. Instead of the particles appearing everywhere and kind of encompassing them, you watch, conscious or subconsciously, Zephyr kind of pulls a little strand of them that wraps around the finger as he scrubs through the video itself and is able to instill those magical particles into the device as the image zooms in and clarifies. And it's like I gotta figure out some stuff. 1 second. Of course. Ha ha ha. Okay. And he zooms in. And the first thing you notice is the dark black cloak with a purple tint, kind of shimmering in the wind. It is rugged and ragged. There are holes throughout this once elegant cloak. You see the peakings of long dark hair down to their mid-back, a ragged, tangled. There are matlocks that have been formed out of just unkempt hair. And as he zooms in and kind of clarifies, Zephyr is able to find an exact moment where this figure has looked towards the car a moment before the video begins to shake and become unrecognizable. And you see piercing red eyes and a scar across their mouth. And
Whoa.
that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
No!
Oh.
Yeah!
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
I
what...
know.
The call back to the very
It took me a
beginning of
minute.
this
No.
session.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. Hope you had a fantastic time. I know I did. I hope my players did.
Yeah, Julia, how was your time?
Oh, it's fine.
Al,
I
what
don't
about
have-
yours?
I don't have a stuffed animal down here, so this stool has to do.
Anyway, Julia, you might not be in the best position for this, but you?
Listen, drink water. I'm gonna need that liquid to replace my tears later. Thanks, Mags.
Mm-hmm. Dane,
that's
anything from you?
No new news.
You knew?
No new? Yeah. No new news. Spotify's coming along. Big excited. We've almost got 10 episodes up already. Try to get at least one up, maybe 2 up a week if I have time. So, yeah. Hop on that. Give us some watches.
Amazing. Fantastic. Anyway. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Have a good night, y'all.